Sports plus life.
We got us a new president. Joe Biden did his thing. And Kamala, first African-American female vice president in history. Let me tell you about President Petty, though. My guy, 45. He is not even conceding, not even acknowledging the fact that he has lost the presidential election. And he's saying, oh, he's not going to leave. It was a fraud. Bullshit. Man, look, take this L and take your ass and go ahead and go on with the next chapter of your life. Your 4-year lease is up in the White House. It's not going to be renewed. So take the L, take your ass, move on with the next chapter of your life, bro. Deuces.
Sports plus life.
This fight between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones on November 28th could arguably be the biggest fight in boxing. Arguably. Is that sad that a couple of legends in their 50s that are fighting is going to garner so much attention? Or is it the fact that maybe people are so in love with nostalgia that we're not ready to truly let our heroes go? It's been 2020, bro. It's been crazy, but you know me. You know Iron Mike is my boy.
Sports plus life.
Lil Wayne endorsed Trump. I mean, what more do I have to say? Lil Wayne endorsed Trump. Hey, you know that Donald Trump plan is gonna work. You know it's gonna work because I don't want him to take my money, baby. I already took my money. Weezy, baby.
Sports plus life.
College football is in trouble. Okay, the NFL is going to finish come hell or high water. They're not going to sit there and watch basketball and baseball and hockey finish their seasons and them not finish theirs. But college football, on the other hand, they are in trouble. This COVID stuff has turned the college football season into a wreck. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for them because you know why? They should have paid the players any freaking way.
Sports plus life.
Ooh, it's almost Christmas time, dog. It's almost Christmas time. You know what the best gift that any woman can give their man if he's under the age of 40, maybe 45? Ooh, the music stopped for this one. No, the best gift that a woman could give her man is more sex. I'm being serious. You don't have to get your man a thing, but if you give him more sex, yeah. More exercise for my dick, motherfucker.
Sports plus life.
On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass. We ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or gossip dough.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life. Yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns, and we're here for another episode of Sports Plus Life. Oh, yeah. Y'all already know what's going down today, and I'm feeling good. Trying to feel good. So guess what? Turn it off. Turn it all the way off, boy, yeah. Maybe I should put some auto-tunes in that shit. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns. This is another episode of Sports Plus Life, that there podcast where we talk about all of the necessary sports that need to be talked about and all of the necessary life that needs to be talked about. And I hope everybody is doing good, feeling good. It was a chilly day, but the weather's been crazy here in Richmond, Virginia. I mean, it's been crazy like 2020 has been crazy. Today it felt like winter outside, and in a couple of days it's gonna feel like it's damn near summer. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Just try to stay healthy. Try to stay from this pneumonia/COVID weather. But anyway, I'm gonna get into some things because I'm gonna keep it moving today. All right, you feel me? It is Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. I decided to do something a little different. Ain't that some stuff? Y'all, sometimes you just never know with me. And I'm pretty sure there's some people that would absolutely agree with that. Like, yeah, we don't never know about with your monkey ass nickel. But anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump right into it. So without further ado, my dudes, my ladies, my people, let's get to it, bro. Okay, today we're going to start off with talking about the NB of the A. First thing I want to do is talk about this draft. The draft is actually getting ready to happen in a matter of minutes. The draft will be over by the time this uploads on YouTube to you. I'm just keeping it real. So we're going to see is some interesting things going. This isn't that draft class with that franchise-changing, life-changing, game-changer, that transcendent athlete, that Hakeem Olajuwon, that Magic Johnson, that LeBron James, that Anthony Davis type, that person is not in this draft. Even Allen Iverson, that person where you're saying, okay, it's no question about it, this person is going number one. Because even Michael Jordan didn't go number one. I didn't not mention him on purpose. I'm just saying I'm talking about as far as number one picks. Kobe Bryant wasn't a number one pick. There isn't that Shaq. Shaq, that player who we think is going to be the next Shaq. He's not in the draft. This is a draft class that's honestly wide open. And most people are thinking that LaMelo Ball is going to go number one. And to those who don't know, and if you listen to this show, I'm sure you do, LaMelo Ball is the youngest brother of NBA player Lonzo Ball. Lonzo, of course, plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. He was drafted 3 years ago by the Los Angeles Lakers with the number 2 overall pick and didn't quite pan out to what the Lakers thought he was going to be. Pretty much, he did a year as a rookie, then a year with LeBron, and LeBron got his ass shipped to New Orleans. He was part of the Anthony Davis trade. Now, my thing is who is going to pick, who is going to pick, and who wants to deal with the LeVar Ball saga of this. Now, one thing I will say is that LeVar Ball has been very, very quiet this go-round when it comes to the drafting of his youngest son, because remember, the middle son didn't get drafted at all. He's the one that got in trouble with China, stealing and shit. But LeVar Ball has been very quiet this go-round because he, in a sense, messed his oldest son's, career up. I'm not going to say totally because Lonzo is still so young. He's only maybe, 22, 23 years old. But LeVar, and I can equate that to just being an excited father, excited that your son is getting ready to go pro. But he alienated everybody in the NBA and thus put a target on Lonzo's back that Lonzo has simply not been able to live up to. Will he do the same thing with LaMelo? Like I said, so far it's been no. But will LaMelo be the number one pick? And the number one pick is held by the Minnesota Timberwolves. So if you're the Timberwolves, what do you have? You have D'Angelo Russell. You have Karl Anthony Towns, even though God bless him because he's had a terrible 2020. COVID has hit him, just as hard as anybody can be hit with it. But, you have those pieces working for you. Do you draft LaMelo Ball? There are other prospects out there. There's shooting guard from Georgia. There's Anthony Edwards, but he's a little small. He's about 6'3". Not a great shooter. Do you go James Wiseman from Memphis, the player who, even before the college basketball season shut down, was barely played because the NCAA was going through things with his then coach, Anthony Penny Hardaway, about money that they should have been getting anyway, damn it, as far as I'm concerned. But yet and still, I don't think that the Minnesota Timberwolves will take Wiseman at number one because you've already got a big in Karl Anthony Towns, and their games are pretty much similar. And I think Towns shoots the three. Look, cuz he shoots the three better. I don't even really see Wiseman as a 3-point shooter. Now you have other players out there. You have Obi Toppin from Dayton. He was really on the verge of being player of the year before the shutdown. You have Patrick Williams, a small forward from Florida State. You have Tyrese Halliburton. I've heard a lot of good things about him. 6'6" point guard from Iowa State. Excuse me. You have Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky. Sadiq Bey from Villanova. Cole Anthony from North Carolina. So, we'll see. We'll see where these dominoes fall. Sometimes you can predict the number 1 and 2 picks in the NBA draft correct, really better than football. But we shall see. We definitely shall see. Isaac Coro from Auburn, he's definitely somebody that you're looking at. Like I said, now what I've heard is that consensus is that Anthony Edwards will go number 1, possibly over Ball, but I can't see them drafting a 6'3" point guard, knowing that they already have D'Angelo Russell. And I don't think the Timberwolves have any plans of getting rid of Russell. I mean, he was just there literally for a cup of coffee in Golden State before they traded him out of there. And I'm interested to really see who Golden State gets. I am very curious to see who the Warriors will get, because they're going to be right back in the thick of things when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the championship run. Steph is healthy. Clay is healthy. Draymond is healthy. So I am very interested to see what is going on. Now, speaking of the pros who are already in the NBA, boy, I'm telling you, free agency is free agency is about to be a trip. I mean, we have had some things happen within the last 48 hours that has really made it worth talking about the NBA of the A before the NF of the L. Ain't that a bitch? First things first that I heard, Chris Paul was traded to the Phoenix Suns. Now, remember when the Milwaukee Bucks season ended, I was one of the first people to say, hey, I think the Bucks should go after Chris Paul. They should put together a package and go after Chris Paul. And a package was put together for Chris Paul. It just wasn't by the Milwaukee Bucks. It was by the Phoenix Suns. Now, I've kind of wrapped myself around that now. I've wrapped myself around it now. It was a package put together where Eric Bledsoe and George Hill and picks are going to be sent to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they're getting Chris Paul. I think they're getting another player too. I'm not sure offhand, but when I look at it now, I'm like, okay, I still don't see a championship, and I think now Chris Paul at this point in his career should be looking for a championship. I mean, maybe he knows something that I don't know in regards to what's going on in Phoenix, but okay, you have Devin Booker. He's a stud, no question about it. He's a stud. You have the number 1 pick from a couple of years ago, DeAndre Ayton. He definitely has all-star potential. He's like an 18-10 guy now. You have Mikal Bridges. You have some good pieces. Oh, you got Bog from Sacramento. Bogdan Bogdanovic, I think that's his name, but you got him, and he drops a lot of points. So I'm not going to sit here and say that for one, the Suns are going, for one, okay, they're obviously going to make the playoffs. Will they crack a top seed in the West, a top 4 seed in the Western Conference? I don't know. I really don't know, because you look at the top teams in the West. You have the Lakers, who are the defending champions, and they just traded Danny Green to Oklahoma City for Dennis Schroeder. So they just got more firepower. I don't know if Schroeder's going to start or not. I would say probably not, because they would like to have that firepower coming off the bench. You should have Avery Bradley coming back next year, but we'll see. And then you have Golden State, who, like I said a few minutes ago, is going to be full on and healthy, and they're going to be back ready to prove that last year was nothing more than a fluke. Also to prove that they were winning before Kevin Durant got there. You're going to have the Clippers, who are going to have everything to prove with new coach Ty Lue, and we don't know what their point guard situation is going to look like. They were coming after Rajon Rondo. I actually thought that the Clippers were going to be a spot that I thought Chris Paul may want to go to. Doc Rivers isn't there anymore. Austin Rivers isn't there anymore. The Clippers, like Chris Paul, have unfinished business. The Clippers had never been to the conference finals before Chris Paul had gotten there. They never went to the conference finals when he was there, and they haven't been since he's left. So they both have unfinished business, but you have the Clippers you have to think about. You have the Denver Nuggets. They have 2 young superstars under the age of 25 and another potential budding superstar. I'm talking about Jokic, Jamal Murray, and the budding possible superstar is Michael Porter Jr. You have to think about them in the mix. You have to think about the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell and Gobert and Mike Conley. You have to think about the Portland Trail Blazers. They're not going to be an 8th seed next year. with a full off season. Well, it'll be a full off season for them. But you have Dame, CJ, you have Nikovic, you still have Whiteside, you're gonna have Rodney Hood coming back, you're gonna have Carmelo still there. They're gonna be a much better team. The Spurs, I think, are gonna be in flux. I've heard trade rumors about DeRozan, but what I'm saying is, with all of these teams that are still gonna be competitive and in play, you don't know where Phoenix is gonna stack up. They're gonna be exciting. They're young. Chris Paul will definitely be, and one thing that Chris Paul exceeds on, and I said this last year when he went to Oklahoma City, and everybody was like, okay, well, he needs to get traded now. And I looked at that roster and I said, no, he's gonna overachieve with that roster, because Chris Paul, when he is the unquestioned alpha dog on a team, he tends to do well, but not championship well. Not championship well. Now, Devin Booker is a superstar scorer. They're gonna be a good team, but like I said, they'll be a playoff team. Will they be a top 4 Western Conference team? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't sit here and say, obviously, they're not better than the Lakers. I can't sit here and say that they're going to be better than the Clippers or better than the Nuggets or better than Golden State. I don't know. But that's just the Western Conference. As far as the Eastern Conference goes, well, let me tell you moves that have been made. The Milwaukee Bucks made a trade for Drew Holiday. Now, like I said, I thought they should get Chris Paul. I thought they should put the package together for Chris Paul. But the package was put together for Drew Holiday. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Is Bogdanovich? You know what? I'm sorry. Forgive me. Bogdanovich went to Milwaukee in that Drew Holiday trade. He didn't go to Phoenix. But Drew Holiday, who is a great two-way player. He's a great two-way player. And for this trade, like I said, George Hill and Eric Bledsoe are going to Oklahoma City. Bogdanovich and Drew Holiday, who was the prize of this trade, is going to he's going to Milwaukee. And through that trade, the Kings, because Bogdanovich played for the Kings, it was a 3-team deal. The Kings have gotten Dante DiVincenzo, DJ Wilson, and Ilyasova from the Bucks. So, you know, I don't like that deal as much as I would have liked the Chris Paul deal, but I do like that deal because now you have 3 bona fide players you can go to in the clutch, and Drew Holiday is a closer. So you can maybe stop asking Chris Middleton to be something that he just may not be, and that is a closer, even though he shows flashes. And Drew Holiday is definitely a beast on the defensive end. So Milwaukee's going for it. They're not being cheap because they know Giannis can walk out the door and they could be left with nothing. So, but it's what are you going to do in the playoffs if you're the Milwaukee Bucks? They've had the best regular season record in the NBA for the last 2 years, right? So, but with that has come not even a finals appearance, let alone a championship. You haven't even gotten to the finals. You went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019. You took a step back this year in 2020. But I like the Drew Holiday move. Like I said, not as much as Chris Paul, as I would have liked to have seen Chris Paul come to Milwaukee. But we'll see. I mean, Milwaukee is definitely deadly when you talk about a starting lineup with Drew Holiday and Middleton, because Drew Holiday, he's not the quintessential point guard, but he can run your offense. Then you have Bogdanovich, Giannis, and Lopez. Still pretty good. Still very good. I mean, and it should be good enough to be a number 1 or number 2, unless the Brooklyn Nets, who are a lot of people's favorites pre what I'm about to drop on you, which I'm sure you already know. But the Brooklyn Nets are trying to acquire James Harden in a trade from the Houston Rockets. Now, this is going to get ugly in Houston. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because Russell Westbrook and James Harden are looking to get up out of Houston. And I said this last show, what pisses me off is that Houston has a brand new coach. He's Steven Silas, son of longtime NBA member Paul Silas. And he's been an assistant for 20 years. This is his first head coaching gig. And I would just like to see the brothers have a good start. And when I saw him on First Take, he was saying that nobody's thinking about trading James Harden or Russell Westbrook. But now you're hearing about it. And like I said this last show, what pisses me off is that why when you have a new black coach, he always has to start behind the 8 ball. Right now on that roster, there are 2 superstars with Harden and Westbrook. Why do you have to get rid of them? And have to start a whole new rebuilding thing, which 9 times out of 10, you're not going to stick with the coach through the whole process. But now, like I said, this is getting deeper. This is getting deeper because James Harden wants to go to Brooklyn. He wants to go to Brooklyn to be with KD and Kyrie. And what I heard today was a lot of it is because the Rockets owner, Tillman Fertitta, is a Trump supporter and James Harden doesn't like it. Mind you, the Rockets just offered yesterday James Harden a 2-year extension worth $105 million, meaning he would be making over $50 million a season. He would be the first player in NBA history to be making $50 million. Over $50 million motherfucking dollars in a season. And he said no, he wants out of Houston. And I don't know how much of it is because he doesn't want to be part of a rebuilding process. And if you and Russ is staying in Houston, it's not much of a rebuild. It's more or less of a retool. But I don't know how much of it is because of that, or is it because he really wants to get away from the owner who is a Trump supporter? I don't know. It's dicey because Houston came out today and said that they don't feel no pressure. They're in no rush to trade Westbrook or Harden because they're under contract. And that's the truth. That's the truth, whether he's a Trump supporter or not. The fact is, you're under contract. They don't have to budge. And I'm pretty sure there are some owners who have been looking at the way players have been trying to control the league who are like, no. And I honestly don't think that Harden is going to get traded to Brooklyn for just Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert and Jared Allen and some picks. I think you would have to throw Kyrie Irving in that trade, and that would defeat the purpose. That's just my opinion. Excuse me, I'm porch, biatch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't see it happening without possibly Kyrie being in that deal. Now let's just play fantasy basketball for a second, and let's just say that trade does happen. Obviously, on paper, because of the names that you have in your starting lineup, the Brooklyn Nets would be favored to come out of the Eastern Conference. I mean, if you have Kevin Durant, your starting backcourt is Kyrie Irving and James Harden. You have Kevin Durant. I'm sure DeAndre Jordan wouldn't be a part of that trade. And then you have a question mark at the power forward position. Really doesn't matter, personally. Just be a garbage man. He'd be the Udonis Haslem to LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Let's just say they get him. What do you have here? You're going to have a lot of wins. You're going to have a lot of nationally televised games. But are you going to have a championship? I can't sit here and definitively say no, because what I'm saying, if you get James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving on the same squad, you should at least make the finals. But what I'm seeing is Oklahoma City all over again. Because remember, Harden and Durant were teammates on the lone Oklahoma City Thunder with all of the superstars over the last 10 years who have somehow managed to play for the Oklahoma City Little Market Thunder. Oklahoma City ain't no major market, but they have had Hall of Famers over the last 10 years play for them. And the one team that went to the finals in 2012 was the young Kevin Durant, young Russell Westbrook, and young James Harden. And I see that all over again. And by that I mean you're going to see a bunch of hero ball. And now what I will say is that Steve Nash is a first-time coach. He likes to play offense the way it should be played. Mind you, he was a consultant in Golden State while Kevin Durant was there. And he's brought on Mike D'Antoni as, his pretty much as his offensive coordinator. Thus, James Harden, hey, come on, I want to go there too. So I could be wrong, but on the surface, it looks like it would be a bunch of hero ball. It does. Now, like I said, they'd be excited. They would be. If they got out of the East, I would see them, and they were, the three of them were healthy as healthy could be around that time of the season. They would be the favorite to win it. KD has already bested LeBron in 2 out of 3 finals. Kyrie, you think he wouldn't want to win against LeBron? This just is assuming the Lakers get to the finals. And James Harden doesn't have a ring. So they would be the favorite, but would they be able to do it? It'd be very intriguing. It would be very, very intriguing. So that's what I have for the NB of the A. And you already know what time it is now. It is time for the NF of the L. And I'm going to go in to these picks for this next week of football, bruh. And trust me, I'm going to make this quick. Let's see, because there's some other stuff I got to get into. All right, so let's go over last week quickly. I went over the Thursday night game already, but the Sunday games, Cleveland beat Houston 10-7. I mean, that's just one of them games where you're just like, okay. But Cleveland is now 6-3. Houston this has just been a bad season. The Detroit Lions beat the DC Dickitch 30-27. Alex Smith in his first start in 2 years threw for damn near 400 yards. I still think in the sorry, craptacular piece of fucking shit that the NFC East is, the Dickitch is still a major player. But props to the Lions, they're 4-5. Green Bay struggled against Jacksonville and what damn near was a trap game, but they won 24-20. The New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-17. The Eagles just look pathetic coming out of a bye week. I'm going to keep it that simple. Right now, the New York Giants look like the best team in the NFC East. The NFC East. They really do. And with that being said, they're 3-7, and they're still a full 2 games behind the Eagles, who are 3-5-1. Ain't that a bitch? Tampa Bay rebounded, is lost to New Orleans by completely annihilating in the second half anyway. The Carolina Panthers 46-23. My Denver Broncos got the shit kicked out of them in Vegas, 37-12 by the Raiders. Get rid of Drew Lock. He stinks. He sucks. He'll have one good game and followed up by 3 bad ones. Get rid of him. I'm sick and tired of John Elway wasting away good defenses year after year since we won the Super Bowl because he can't get the quarterback right. It's pissing me off. Anyway, the Miami Dolphins continue to be one of the stories of the NFL. They have won 5 straight. The Dolphins are 6-3. They beat the Los Angeles Chargers 29-21 in a game that really wasn't even that close. Tua is 3-0 as a starter. In the game of the day, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Buffalo Bills 32-30, and DeAndre Hopkins simply mossed 3 Buffalo Bills on a Hail Mary at the end of the game to steal that one from the Bills. The Los Angeles Rams, who are proving that to have one of the NFL's top elite legit defenses, as they beat the Seattle Seahawks 23-16. Seattle has lost 2 straight. Russell Wilson has lost his grip on the MVP race. The Rams, they can play defense. If you always think about the Rams as this offensive team, their defense carries them. period. The New Orleans Saints beat up the San Francisco 19ers. I'm sorry, the 49ers. I feel like they got 30 niggas injured. They beat them 27-13, but big new Drew Brees got hurt. Cracked ribs on both sides and a collapsed lung. What the fuck? And with that happening, that has really swung a lot of discussion as far as who is the powerhouse in the NFC now. A lot of people are ready to just hand it back over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm going to say the power team in the NFC is still the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees missed about a month to 5 weeks last year. Teddy Bridgewater did his thing. I know Jameis Winston is more erratic than Teddy Bridgewater, but I believe they'll be just fine. I do. I think they'll go down the field just a smidgen more. New Orleans is the most complete team in the NFC, period. The Pittsburgh Steelers dodged what could have been a trap game as they beat the hell out of the Bengals 36-10. The Steelers are 9-0. The Sunday night game shocked me. I thought the Ravens would beat the Patriots, but the Patriots beat the Ravens. And in the Monday night game, the Chicago Bears are who we thought they were. They're losing. Once 5-1, they're now 5-4. They lose to the Minnesota Vikings, who are playing good football now, 19-13. Now, quickly with that being said, I'm going to go to the Week 11 matchups, and I'm going to make my predictions with Thursday night. I've heard a lot of people whining and bitching about Thursday night football. There's a major league matchup coming up. Arizona at Seattle for first place in the NFC West on the line. And remember, the Cardinals beat the Seahawks in overtime. This one is in Seattle. Seattle has lost 2 straight. Arizona's coming off of a miraculous miracle win. I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this game. Russell Wilson is going to be great. I'm going to just leave it at that. Sunday's game, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Cleveland Browns. As much as I want to pick the Eagles, I can't. I simply can't. I simply cannot. Even though the Eagles are getting healthy, Alshon Jeffrey played his first game of the season last week. I can't, because nobody is holding Carson Wentz accountable for anything. Doug Peterson has done his own stupid shit, but Carson Wentz has simply looked, I don't know. I mean, the regression is so real. And the Cleveland Browns, you know what you're going to get from them. The Cleveland Browns have arguably the best offensive line in football. They are going to ride their 2 all-pro running backs, just like they did last week. Chubb ran for 100, so did Hunt. Baker Mayfield threw for what? $150. He'll do that again. They will ride Kareem Hunt. They will ride Nick Chubb. And the Browns will win and be 7-3. Very quietly. I mean, Stefanski has a plan, and it's working. It's working. Atlanta at New Orleans. A lot of eyes will be on this game because Jameis Winston will be starting. I think that New Orleans will win this game. It'll be close. They play Atlanta twice in the next 3 weeks. I believe Atlanta will win one of them, just not this one. The Bengals at the Dick Itch. I believe the Dick Itch will scratch their way to a victory. The Lions at the Panthers. No Teddy Bridgewater might not play. No Christian McCaffrey. I'll take the Lions, even though when you have expectations of them, they let you down. Possible trap game for the undefeated Steelers going to Jacksonville? Not according to Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh will win this game. They will be 10-0 heading to their Thanksgiving night showdown against the Ravens. And speaking of the Ravens, they have a playoff rematch at home against the Tennessee Titans. They are returning to the scene of the crime of last year's playoff upset. The Titans are reeling. The Ravens are reeling. It's a must-win for both teams. And I'm going with my man, Lamar Jackson, because you know what? Lamar Jackson is going to make me start saying this again. The Lamar Jackson era is here, I think. But the Ravens will win this game. New England, who is fresh off of a victory against Baltimore on Sunday night, they're at the Houston Texans. That's a trap game for them. I'm picking the Texans to win. Dolphins at the Broncos. Dolphins are red hot. They are red hot. They believe Brian Flores should be coach of the year. And only way he shouldn't be coach of the year is if the Steelers go undefeated. Nobody has seen this coming from the Dolphins, particularly making the quarterback switch when Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing good, but Brian Flores knew Fitzpatrick has a history of flaming out. Your future is now. Miami's going to kick the shit out of my Broncos. Get rid of Drew Lock. Jets at Chargers. Who the fuck cares? Chargers. Good game. Packers at Colts. That's a really good game. I actually like the Packers. I like Aaron Rodgers to go in and beat Phillip Rivers in a shootout. Dallas at Minnesota. Minnesota is playing very good football. They're going to ride Dalvin Cook. I think the Vikings are going to win. Sunday night game. Chiefs at Raiders. This is interesting because the Vegas Raiders are good. They're 6-3. They're part of that 6-3 log jam that's in the AFC. But they're good. They're the only team to beat the Chiefs. They're the only team. They've beaten the Browns. Browns are 6-3 as well. The Raiders are good. They're playing solid football. Nobody is now questioning whether John Gruden knows what the hell he's doing or not. Because what John Gruden is showing is that when you don't have this microwave mentality, this win now mentality, and you actually follow through with a plan, if you just love it when a plan comes together, you can make shit happen. We all, myself included, said, John Gruden, what the hell are you doing trading Khalil Mack? What are you doing trading Amari Cooper? But in year one, nah, they were crappy. Year two, the beginning of last year, you were saying the game may have passed Gruden by until they started winning. And around week 12 of last year, we were like, oh, the Raiders should make the playoffs. But they kind of tailed off. This year, they're 6-3. And we expect them to make the playoffs. We do, especially with the extra team in the playoff that the NFL has put in the playoffs for each conference. Now, as far as this game goes, Kansas City's going to get revenge. They'll win. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that the Raiders will still make the playoffs. Monday night game, big time game. Rams at Bucks, and I'm going to tell you something right now. As much as I'm saying my head is telling me them Tom Brady-led Buccaneers are going to win this game, the Rams can get to the quarterback. I'm going Dave Gettleman on you. The Rams can rush the passer. Their secondary may be the best in football, led by Jalen Ramsey, led by John Johnson III. I think that the Rams are going to win in Tampa. Okay? Ha, ha, ha. That's my football shit. Excuse me, I'm porched. Okay, next topic of discussion that I'm going to mention is quickly the welterweight title fight last Saturday night between Terrence Crawford, the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Bud Crawford, against Kell Brook of England, former champion and his own former champion as well. And both fighters were just magnificently conditioned. And in the fourth round, Bud Crawford landed a jab hook that knocked Brook down, and then it really discombobulated him. And then Terrence Crawford went in for the kill and handled his BI. He handled his business. He defended his crown. He went to 37-0. Bud Crawford, best in the business pound for pound. I'ma say it again. PBC should be ashamed of themselves for not putting Errol Spence in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Now, with that being said, watching the interview with Terrence Crawford and Bob Arum, of course they're saying they want to fight Errol Spence, but originally it wasn't even supposed to be Kell Brook that they fought that night. It was supposed to be Manny Pacquiao. Now, ain't that a bitch? How about that? It was supposed to be Manny Pacquiao, but because of the pandemic, that kind of messed everything up, because that fight with Manny was supposed to be in the Middle East. And while the Middle East isn't run down by COVID like America is, they're making this was supposed to be a big time. This was a money grab fight for Terrence Crawford. I'm going to call it what it is. I don't want to see him fight Manny Pacquiao. I'll watch it, of course. But this point in Manny Pacquiao's career, Manny Pacquiao, 41, 42 years old? Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought in almost a year and a half. The last time he fought was July of last year when he shocked the boxing world. And I'm not being funny. He shocked the boxing world and beat previously undefeated Keith Thurman to win the WBA welterweight title. And before then, he fought in January of 2019 against Adrian Broner, who was an idiot. I'll talk about that another day. But Pacquiao has been very inactive. They wanted the fight to be against Pacquiao, but now they're saying they're going to make it happen. And like I said, it's a money grab because Pacquiao is still one of the biggest names in boxing. Pacquiao still has a bigger name than Errol Spence Jr., and he's a champion. They didn't, strip his title belt because of everything going on with COVID. But, I mean, by the time he fights Manny will have been out the ring for damn near 2 years. In his 40s. So, I'm not crazy about that. Like I said, of course, I will want to watch it. I'll pay to see it. But this is a fight that, honestly, I wish had happened in 2016, I guess. Because I don't have interest in seeing Manny getting beaten up. And while I'm not going to sit here and summariously say that Manny's going to get his ass kicked, but Terrence Crawford right now is at the top of his game. Now, there are cracks in there that could be caught. But can a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao catch them? A 32-year-old could. 32-year-old Pacquiao could. A 35-year-old Pacquiao could. Can a 42-year-old Pacquiao catch the small wrinkles that are in Bud Crawford's game right now? Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Because Errol Spence wants to fight Pacquiao too. Pacquiao is still the money grab. When they don't need to be worried about fighting Pacquiao, they need to be worried about fighting each other, damn it. But also, with that being said, we're less than 2 weeks away from the senior circuit showdown that I cannot wait to see. By that, I'm talking about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Saturday, November 28th. So this is what I'm going to let y'all know right now off dick, is that next week's show, which I'll probably do the day before Thanksgiving, that'll also mark 2-year anniversary of Sports Plus Life. Woo! Most of that show is going to be revolving around Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. I sometimes have to tell myself, this is my show. I'm a Tyson fucking fanatic. And this show is going to be, I'm going to say, 80% about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. I'm just giving you a fair warning. I'm giving you a heads up. I want to take calls. I want people to give me their opinion. Who's going to win the fight? Because there are a lot of people, sports heads out here that are saying that, hey, they're not going to watch the fight. And yeah, they find it funny, but they're not going to watch it. That's bullshit, because watch next week all of the hoopla that's going to come, because it's Mike Tyson and it's Roy Jones. There's going to be so much hoopla to this fight for an 8-round quote-unquote exhibition fight. Ain't no damn exhibition fight. But like I said, just wait till next week's show. Because I can't wait till the 28th. 2 days after Thanksgiving. Oh, I can't wait. Ain't seen my boy in the ring in 15 years. Boy, I mean, whoa. I don't give a fuck how old he is. I done seen him and shit. He looks great. Roy looks great too. Oh, I mean, yes, let's get it on. Fuck all these other fighters. Let's Mike versus Roy. Oh, with that being said, where the buzzer, man. But I'm being dead ass serious. I really cannot wait till this fight. I really can't. That's just the boxing nerd in me. But anyway, next week is Thanksgiving, y'all. And I know, everybody is saying cancel plans and things like that. And you have to do what's safe. You have to do what's safe. I have to send a rest in peace shout out, if you will, and I don't mean that in no kind of funny way. I'm serious. I lost a family member of mine. Found out yesterday, Edna Johnson. She was 91 years old, and 91 years old is a great life, no matter how you look at it. Unless you were 91 and you spent the last 70 years in jail. But if you were 90 years out and if you were 91 years old and you got to see your family grow up and your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids grow up, that's a wonderful life. So Edna Johnson, after hit my cousin WC up, she was in a nursing home, and unfortunately she caught COVID. So like I said, this thing is real. She caught COVID and she passed. So Big Mama, love you, and you will definitely be missed. But then now, I hope, again, if you have not yet subscribed to Sports Plus Life, hit that subscription button and definitely become part of the Sports Plus Life family. And trust me, we got a lot more to get into. It's Thanksgiving with the message that I just said in regards to the loss of one of my family members. Definitely don't take anything for granted in this unknown, trying year that is 2020. The family members that you will be around, that you already live under the same roof with, love them, cherish them, and just have a good day, have a good meal. We ain't at Thanksgiving yet. Again, I will come back on Wednesday and do next Wednesday and do a show the day before Thanksgiving. Again, centered around Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. But trust me, it'll also be the 2-year anniversary of Sports Plus Life. So, it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this bitch. I'll see y'all next week. Be safe, be cool. Peace.